I be able to turn this into this? Welcome back to part 3. So I finished making the base layers for this belt nail. And yes, it is yellow, and yes, the inspo is green. We will get to that. So once I got down the base layer, I started mixing this black and green color together. And then I started blocking out the shapes on the belt. Also, in my previous video, I think I called this snake print, but I think it's alligator print. Now, I didn't record this, but I just kept adding black to the green until it got the color that I liked. The next thing I had to do was the star nail. I added little dots just to kind of pinpoint and map out where my stars were going to be at. So it ended up just being like connect the dots, and then once I connected everything, I filled them all in. I also made sure to go over it with a second layer of the same dark red color I've been using. That nail is done, so now it was time to move on to the thumbs. I don't know if you catched it in the inspo picture, but it didn't show the thumbs. So I asked my client what she wanted to be on them, and she sent me this picture. It took me a minute to figure out what I was looking at, but I knew it was Hello Kitty, and then I asked her and she told me it was like a Babe collab with Hello Kitty. So I started off by doing a white outline and then filling in all the spots that were actually supposed to be white. Then I started coloring all of the red parts, and I think in the original one, the red was more of a bright red, but I wanted it to match the rest of the set. So I continued using the same deep red I've been using this whole time. Now this next part was a little tricky because I had to find the right shades of brown for the Hello Kitty skin tone. It still look like the inspo, but not blend in with the base coat of the nails. And you can really see what I mean here because I'm adding the paws, and this color is very, very similar to the base coat. But I still think it was like different enough that it didn't blend in too much. Plus, I would be adding a outline later on. And here's the outline I did. I do think the eyes were a little lopsided. I believe I fixed that later. But I made it like a little thicker than I would for my self-preference because it was like cartoony. So I wanted to really throw that home, run that home, whatever the saying is. It's drive it home. That's the saying, I think.